What's up guys, and welcome to episode 8 of Mass Effect Talks. So Aria T'loak. For anybody that doesn't remember who Aria is just by the name, you're like, wait, who was Aria? She was the Asari that was leading Omega. By far, in my opinion, Aria is the most interesting Asari in Mass Effect. I just love her. She's one of my favorite characters of Mass Effect. She is my favorite Asari. I'm just so intrigued when it comes to Aria. It's just so much mystery behind her. And just the way that she is just like, oh my god, I love this lady. Samara is a close second. So every time I see something that includes Aria in it, like a comic book or the novel or something like that, I'm on it. Like, I just want to know so much more about Aria. She has this type of not as much as the Elusive Man, the mysteriousness. The Elusive Man is just the king for that. But when it comes to Aria, there's also this, need to know more of, at least for me, I want to know more about her. And those are probably the only two characters that I feel that way for. The Elusive Man and Aria. I just want to know more. Aria has appeared in a lot of Mass Effect stuff. Not only the game, but also in the comics and in the novel. And I say novel because she was only in Retribution. I don't remember her even being mentioned in Ascension or in Revelation. A lot of people have wondered about her age, and the only place that it actually gives a hint as to how old she is in the novel, Retribution. She's thinking, and she says something along the lines like it'd be stupid to let her guard down after living for over 1,000 years. So she's over 1,000 years old. Her position on Omega is basically the leader. Omega doesn't have a leader. Let's just say there's no president, there's no leader with that title. And Arya says it herself. She says there's no set leader, but she's the one that runs everything. She is, that's why I put it kind of in quotes, is because she basically runs Omega, and she has been running Omega for over 2 centuries. So that is a long freaking time. Before she became the leader of Omega, though, she was an exotic dancer at Afterlife. Now, when she got to Afterlife, when she got into Omega, she already went in there thinking that she was going to take it over. She wanted to already be the boss, the big boss. So she's always had that type of mentality. So her exotic dancing was actually a cover-up. And then she took over Patriarch, the Krogan, that had been the previous leader of Omega. She used to be an Asari commando, so she's got some pretty damn good training. And she's a very powerful biotic. She's also done some mercenary work. So she's been around, especially for how long she's lived. She knows her thing. When it comes to Arya's personality, the one thing that stands out the most in her is that she's super proud. She's very proud and cocky about it. She doesn't care. She's not ashamed to show how egotistical she is, how proud she is of everything that she knows, of her status, of her knowledge. She will show it to you, and she doesn't care what you think. Another thing is that if she can use you, she will exploit that to the max. She will use you as much as she can. But one thing is that if you're loyal to her, she treats you pretty good. She doesn't undermine any of her loyal companions. She actually treats them well. She saw Paul as a pretty loyal employee, and in the book she even tells him, everything is on the house today for you. It's all on me. Have a great time type of thing. So you're like, whoa, Arya's being nice, but she is nice to the people that are loyal to her. Now, if you betray her or any way stab her in the back, she will hunt you down until you are freaking dead. So she's vengeful. Vengeful as hell. She doesn't want to have anything in her past or in her record that says that someone screwed her. No way in hell would she keep somebody screwing her in any way and just not do anything about it. Like, everything has a consequence to her. And she wants everybody to know that. Because if any time, if someone steps on her and she doesn't do anything about it, people are going to be like, she's not serious. So she has to act on everything that is done to her. And that, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why she's had so much power in Omega for so long. I mean, like she says, she keeps Patriarch around as an example. Also, she's very smart. She knows a lot. And maybe it's because she's lived for so long. She's a master at reading people. Like, she will read your body language to the dot. Like, she knows how to observe your eye movements if you're lying. Anything you do, she'll catch it, and she just observes you while she's talking to you. And this is mentioned in the book. There's a scene in the book that it's one of my favorite scenes. I was like, oh my god. It's Aria and the Elusive Man talking. Get Aria, the master manipulator and master observer. She will freaking look into your soul and like tell you exactly who you are, and she will call any bluff that you try to even throw at her. And the Elusive Man is the same way. He will read right through you. He has the same manipulative skills that Aria does. So when they're both talking in this scene, it's just so awesome and at the same time funny, because Aria is trying to read the Elusive Man, but the Elusive Man is giving her nothing, because he knows. He knows that she could read him. So he's just not giving her anything. And Aria's like, what the hell? Like, she just can't capture anything from him. And the Elusive Man's doing the same thing with her. He's trying to observe her, and she's not giving in either. So it's just so awesome. This part, I love that part. But the Elusive Man does end up deceiving her, so it's kind of like the Elusive Man is just a little bit better when it comes to manipulation and lying. So Aria is one of the best information sources, especially when it comes to Omega. She wants to know everything that is going down on Omega. And the way that she does this is she's got a bunch of people working for her. And she has her goons keeping tabs on all the factions, on the Talons, on the Blue Suns, on everybody. So she needs to know what everybody is doing, what everybody is up to, because some people want to take her down. So she has to be as careful as she can. She's paranoid as hell, but she kind of has to be, because if she wasn't, she wouldn't be in the position that she's in. Another thing about her is no matter who you are, if you present a great deal to her, she will work with you. In Mass Effect, Retribution, the book, the Elusive Man. Now, I think you gotta remember, Cerberus is anti-alien, right? So the Elusive Man is like, we have to work with Aria because they're trying to find Grayson, because Grayson escaped after being implanted with Reaper tech. And the Elusive Man is like, we have to get him back. So he tells Kai Lang, the assassin that I talked about in the other Mass Effect talks, you have to go and talk to Aria. And she will probably, be able to find Grayson, because she's probably looking for him too. Now, a lot of people don't know this about Aria, but it is mentioned in the book, and it is a big part of Aria's involvement in the book. She has a daughter, and her daughter, her name is Lyselle. If you guys remember, I mentioned him a lot, Paul Grayson. He used to work for Cerberus, and he was implanted with Reaper technology by the Elusive Man. Paul Grayson was Lyselle's lover in Retribution. And that's how Aria is involved in Retribution. Paul Grayson, now known as Paul Johnson, is running from Cerberus because Cerberus basically wants to take him out because he betrayed the Elusive Man. So he's been hiding from Cerberus for about 2 years, and he's been under the employment of Aria in Omega, so that's where he's been hiding. So he's working for Aria. This is what happens. Lyselle is killed when Cerberus finds out where Grayson is. Kai Lang goes and basically raids his apartment and captures Grayson, kills Lyselle, slits her throat, and just leaves her there. When Aria goes, she finds out about what happened. She goes to the apartment and sees her daughter, just dead right there, and Grayson's gone. She thinks Grayson killed her. So the elusive man kind of takes advantage of that, and he tells Kai Lang, talk to her, and let's let her know that we're both after the same person. So if they capture Grayson, Aria could have her revenge, and the elusive man could finally, put an end to Grayson. Whether if he's dead or alive, he doesn't freaking care. He prefers him dead. Kai Lang is like, we're gonna work with aliens, and the elusive man is so desperate that he's like, we need somebody that will find him. And Aria is that type of person, where she's like, I will freaking find you. He never speaks to her personally, face to face, only through a visual comm link, of course, like he did with Shepard, like that. And he says this, he says, if you find Grayson, I will pay you 4 million credits. And Arya's like, what? It's just an offer that she can't turn down. That scene is the scene that I'm talking about. That's very, very interesting. Where they just share this whole, like what the hell? Are you lying to me? Or, trying to read each other. And obviously the elusive man is lying to her, because he makes her believe that Grayson was working for this Turian group and was against Aria. He ended up killing Lascelles because he wanted to, take down Aria and all this stuff, like make a message and leave a message for Aria type of thing. She falls for it, but at the same time she's suspicious as to, like, wait, something's not right here. Like, she still suspects that something that the elusive man isn't telling her something. And the elusive man tells her, you could find Grayson by finding Kali Sanders. So Aria takes the advice, finds out where Kali is, captures her and Anderson, because Anderson was with her at the time, captures her on a Cerberus base. Now this Cerberus base is where they implanted Grayson. First, Anderson and Kali attack the Cerberus base to get Grayson. Grayson ends up escaping before they get to him, and the elusive man and Kai Lang also. But then, while Kali and Anderson are on that base researching the files, Aria attacks. Aria's group of people, because Cerberus says they're on this base, go take them out. So Aria captures Kali and Anderson and basically tells Kali, you're gonna send a message to Grayson and have him come to Omega. So kind of setting bait for him. Kali kind of, she doesn't want to, but at the same time she's like, I have no other choice, they're gonna kill us or whatever. So she does it. She sends a message to Grayson. I don't want to go too into this story, especially when it comes to what happened with Grayson and how Kali even talked to him or anything like that, so I'm just going to stick to the Aria part. So Grayson does go to Omega because of the message that Kali sent him, but when Grayson gets there, now remember, he's augmented with Reaper tech, so he's super powerful now, and he basically takes out all of Aria's guys. And when she finds out that he was augmented, she gets pissed. And she's like, why didn't Cerberus tell me this? I would have sent more guys, or something like that. And she's like, Cerberus is gonna pay for not telling me. When she talks to the elusive man again, she's kind of like asking, telling him, like, what the hell, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, oh, well, if you would have killed him, you wouldn't have had it. If you didn't want to take him in alive, you wouldn't have had to even deal with it. So he's like, you should have just killed him. But he strikes another deal with Aria, and he says, I want the information that you found on the base where you got Kali and Anderson. And she says, that was a Cerberus base, wasn't it? And he's like, yeah, but I want those files, the data. I'll give you 3 million credits. And he's like, you have nothing to lose. He's like, you could even keep the originals and just send me a copy. He's like, I just want the data. And she's like, okay, I'll get just $3 million easy. That's how the relationship with Aria and Cerberus ends.